let me tell you some stories. Wartime stories. First off, we're gonna move Ganon out. Good luck, have fun.
Oh, I mute myself.
Interface is on. Let's see if everything's alright on the stream yet. So, Wartime stories. I played this against Lorry Driver and I had concocted the perfect cheese. You go double riff. You then move out your original MCV. You make a metric factor of rifles, maybe even rockets. Then you move your entire thing to the left side, depending on the spawn, like left side, right side, same thing. And then you wall him off, because there's this one death tile, right? You send your army here, you send your MCV here, and you wall him off completely, and you have to be Soviets, so you can camp his ore patch with a Tesla. So he's reduced to one single ore mine. And I did that for... oh, come on, no lag spikes. I did that and almost broke him. He didn't... I think he didn't drop a single game that entire season. Let's wait for Belgian digs to time out. Let him time out. Yeah, dig move. And then what I completely forgot is that infantry can actually kill those chain link fences very easily. So my entire cheese plan, eventually, it took him a while, but he eventually also figured it out. But at that rate, he had gotten one MCV out, uncontested, I didn't spot it. And he had just deployed, I thought I had him contained in his base, and he was just like having one MCV out, popping a refiner here, popping a refiner here, popping a refiner even on the gems, and then even making it all the way across here, because I had relegated my production to here. And I was like, I'm gonna break him, and all of a sudden, there's this army popping out of the middle of nowhere into my main base. And I was on one base, tier 3. Ah, sad times. The time when I almost beat him in Season 4. But that was... he pretty much went uncontested. He came over from StarCraft 2, and at the time the skill level was a bit lower. So Punsho, we've had our fourth spot or third spot match, the bronze match of RHL if you will. And I'm not gonna spoil the result for you guys if you wanna watch it on someone's stream. I think Jackoderp and NetNascal streamed it. It wasn't pretty because... yeah, let's just not go into details. But Punsho has devised a new build, which we probably are going to see come into fruition here, and it's a super early Second War Factory. Like, I think before... was it before Second Refinery? I'm not sure. But it was crazy, crazy early. Can we handicap Ganon by having him build only harvesters, mine layers, and light tanks as vehicles? Against Punsho, he won't need that. Punsho is going to provide him with a decent challenge. Punsho is also good. Like his rifle positioning. Punsho is playing it quite greedily here. I think that's, yeah, War Factory first. For both players. APC versus light tank, the good old I hit you with a wet noodle slapstick fight where nothing happens for... I think I've timed it ever since the APC health increase. It takes, I kid you not, I think 36 seconds until the APC actually dies to a light tank. Obviously, like, it can't damage the light tank. Basically at all. But the light tank takes ages to kill it. So if you just have the spare APM for one mouse click, you just, yeah, you just move it out of the way. Good old slapstick fight. We're gonna see it in action. Or are we? No. Punsho's content, just sitting back. So Ganon is probably trying to kill the barrels and kill the oil derricks with them. Would be a smart move. But it can easily... oh, that rally point, Punsho. And now the death tile is gonna start blocking things. Yep. Oh, Punsho realized. At least a Cabal, a single mine belt is a $100 deleted army. Don't get me wrong, guys. Yes, in Shadow Paradise, mines are very strong, but in Red Alert, they are underutilized. They are really good. Even in competitive tiers. You just need to know where to place them, and you need to know then not to send your own units that way. That is key directive number 1. So really nice recapture. Punsho knew that the light tank was out of position. He saw it sniffing about in the north. So he would just use that opportunity to steal away a derrick. And the engineer for Ganon is obviously somewhere hidden in the corner of the map. Haha. Punsho's posturing. He knows that this is inevitable. Rifle scout. Entrance to the base has been denied. I did that to Orb in the best of 5 series that we had to determine our placement in the playoffs, and we went 2-3, and in one of the games I beat him with a mine layer only. Mine layer in his gem patch, I killed 3 harvesters and an MCV and a V2 for the modest price of $800. So I'd say that's a steal. Needs to focus out the rocket, very nice. Does so as well. And I think he's got... Ooh, that's gonna be close. He gets the intercept, yeah, but he can't get out anymore. Probably worth it. 400 down, like 850 down for Punsho, but he's gonna make the rebate. Unless Ganon goes for an NG right now. Game crash for Rovers, huh? Weird. Loving this map, same. Same, absolutely. For those on YouTube, because this is probably gonna be one of the highlight matches, I'm gonna showcase the new zoom feature. Zoom out. And the newest releases are gonna have seamless zoom. That is gonna be so cool, but right now it caps out at a weird angle, so pro players are not used to that yet. Yeah, double War Factory. There it is. Double War Factory, double racks. Super early econ, super early eco transfer. That is the way to go. He's gonna be contesting a big army. Uh-oh. That could have been in a more timely manner. Punsho? You okay there, buddy? That's moving back. It's just infantry for infantry being traded off. And Ganon has the pushing power right now. Light tank, if he gets into the... Ooh, if this gets into the backlines, oh no. Well, Ganon fucked up. We should have kept moving. Because mediums can't really chase reliably, but man, light tanks can. Ganon immediately going for power. He knows where it hurts. But this isn't gonna do much. Yeah, no rockets left. He's focusing out the mediums. Wow. How much delay with what you say in Discord and the stream? Probably 20 seconds right now, because I didn't plan this as a competitive stream, so I don't have delay on right now. So nice engagement win regardless. Punsho barely lost anything here, 1 Tesla. And he's wiping the base of Ganon, look at this. Ganon has got to be salty, he wants to demand a rematch. Pretty sure. Let's see, nothing has been said in Discord just yet, so that's fine. Yeah, he used the same build against me. And you do that as Soviets, and you just get so much pushing power from your heavies. Like, heavies and mediums, that's just not a contest. It's like bringing a portable nuke launcher to a slap fight. It's not pretty. It ain't pretty. I think Ganon loses here. Yeah, and, like, turrets don't stop this avalanche of Soviet steel. That's the thing. Look at that. It's closing the sack. This is 1 expansion down for Ganon. No way to recover. Right-hand side is feeling completely safe. Down goes the MCV eventually. Yeah, there we go. Bursted it down. It just has its pockets of units that can dish out so much DPS. The Harvester has been killed. Power plant down. Mediums down. And now he's trying to claim. Strong play from Punsho. Same build he used against me 3 times, and I failed to stop it 3 times. Tech doesn't work against mass heavies, because, like, obviously I spawned as allies 3 times in a row. And obviously allied tech doesn't help you at all against armor, at least not tier 2. Tier 3 is a different story, but getting to tier 3, iffy. Well, that's MCV for MCV, but one of these players has an expansion. Ganon resorting to his favorite build, all rifles. No rockets required. Sick crushes. Sending the wounded heavies back to the front, and now look at the econ tab. Punsho is only 1 harvester up, but his assets 11k ahead. And those heavies, they just give you unparalleled pushing power. As stated previously, like, Ganon can spam as many mediums as he wants off of 1 War Factory. He's not going to be able to stem the tide. Not in the slightest. So now, oh, that's the third MCV out because he lost the second. He obviously needs to recoup his losses there. This is a sick game. Oh, almost as sick as I am with influenza today. My influenza-ridden self is not taking kindly to the holiday season starting. Hope I'm gonna be fit over Christmas. Yeah, also it's a bit more of a quiet time right now. Ooh, Ganon is going for a sneaky expansion. So is Punsho. Allies cannot flank properly on this map, but they can, in theory, if you're not up against double war factory, Soviet spamming, heavy spamming Soviets, then you can actually, in theory, go tech and just, you don't need to outflank when you can just lob arty shells over the walls. That is kind of the general idea. Yeah, in comes the Soviet tank hammer. He went triple MCV now. No, that's his main. Desperation move. The line between desperation move and power play is very thin for Ganon, as per usual. He's now gonna go for the main base and Punsho immediately on the ball. Yeah. 7 mediums. That doesn't stop 5 heavies. Plus a healthy core of infantry. All the harvesters have been lost here. He's down to 5. Oh, Ganon's eco in shambles. RT is very strong on this map. Yep, orb that's behind the veil. It is a good map. It has to be played in a particular way though. Punsho not taking prisoners, man. Ganon is gonna be salty. I'm calling it right now. Oh, he's walling. Trying to wall off. Nope. Getting the hell out of dodge. MCV parking in the handicapped spot here. Not looking too smart right now. And giving him the old left, right. Going for the secondary MCV, and there's just nowhere to move for Ganon. I'm gonna see him in his death throes. You can build as many rockets as you like. Mars heavies don't really care about your rocket numbers because they can easily be out-positioned. GG. Wow.
GG.
GG. He used the same build against me 3 times and he won 3 times. Just putting it out there. You want a rematch, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you are a weak player, that's why you lose, but that's outside of that.
Strong enough to break top 4. I'm content with that.
I mean, it's a double war factory build. By the way, like, this map is actually very nice, but it just needs some rework because it just doesn't fit. Like, there's no third ore mine in the main. Then the entrance is only 1 cell large.
I still don't fully believe that, but good luck, have fun.
Yeah, not if I'm only on 1 war factory, but that's sure. Okay, so I'll be back.
See you in a sec. Alright, you guys bet. Anyone better than use a triad, anyone worse than use a trash player. Yeah, that's the rules. The rules of competitive multiplayer. I didn't make those rules. So it's again gonna, I think it's gonna be the same build for Punsho. He played it for the past 2-3 weeks. And
I think the 2 war factories with Soviets is more powerful than with the Allies.
Yes, I've made that point before. It's way more powerful with Soviets.
Yeah, that's what I'm told.
Yeah, heavy tanks are just, they like for like punch per cost, they outtrade mediums so hard, especially to the burst damage, because they have double fire burst instead of just, you know, it's more alpha damage. So if there's a big engagement, they just one-shot a tank and it's already -1 from the start. Then they one-shot another tank and it's -2. And it just keeps snowballing from there. And mediums don't have the burst to kill, like, unless it's crazy numbers, they usually don't have the burst to kill mass heavies outright.
Yes. And for the crushes, it's not the best too. For me, the medium tank have the advantage with crushes in a very, very, very large number. But that doesn't happen in early game. But I don't know. I'm still a medium player, so don't hesitate to correct me.
I mean, no, you're right. And another very important factor. Ooh, nice. Force fire action. Oh, he killed one. Nice. Another important factor is that mediums, if they try crushing, their health is lower, so they get killed very easily. Oh, nice flank from Ganon. This time he's not gonna get 3 oiled again. So if they try crushing, they get out, like, as soon as one gets killed, which is easier than for heavies, the husks stop blocking the other tanks.
Yes.
So crushing is way more risky, and they've got lower health to begin with. So it's an all-around clusterfuck.
With my level of playing, that works when I have the equal value of tank of my enemy and a better concave. So the rockets go all on only one tank, and there's the husk, so the tank behind is blocked. But when you have a good concave, you can go faster and make some really good crushes.
Ooh,
that's
switching
the
it up
only
this time
way.
around. Switching it up is Punsho, going for a mobile flag instead. So, mobile flag is less about safeguarding your NG, which he's down an NG, if you remember. So he's more about early pressure and trying to find Ganon scout units and deny them. Let's see, always saying I've started playing around with this, but with mediums you want to flank and have a wide front, yeah, to maximize speeds and not blocking. So yeah, with mediums you don't want to engage directly, you always just want to play it.
No tunnel vision with medium tank.
Down goes the Derek, so again, nice win for Punsho early on. Retaining his 2 oils, cutting down one of Ganon's.
2 versus 1 oil.
Ooh, and Ganon's ranger is getting dangerously low here. Flag truck taking a bit of a dangerous path. The pathing here is very, very perilous, very treacherous, because there are those rocks. They can fuck up pathing big time.
Yes.
I understand that Punsho doesn't want to engage here, he doesn't feel confident enough. And there's his build again. Double War Factory before Service Depot, I believe.
I didn't pay attention, but...
Yeah, it's again on Double War Factory. Ganon moved out his MCV, so he's gonna be finding himself behind early in this game. Gonna at least deny the oil disadvantage. Yeah, there we go. Pop.
It's weird, I never seen this with master player. The master player usually take expansion with an MCV, but ZxGanon go for his first expansion with his original MCV. I don't understand.
I know why. It's because of this map. This map provides it with very low starting econ. So, seeing as he got crushed by mass heavy tanks early on, last game, he doesn't want to fall behind on the tank count again. So he just moves out, such as to avoid the death tile. Like this little gap here can easily screw you. The Rax placement of Punsho. Yeah, the Rax placement of Punsho just locks your infantry and boxes them in and just makes pathing so inefficient. Well, Ganon's got a nice little bunch of a nice little assortment of scouts this time around. Was going to see some floating action, right? No. Oh, Ganon again, without a meat shield, without line of sight, he's losing so much. Oh my goodness. Terrible engagement already. He can't deploy here. Oh no, and the flak truck. This is going from bad to worse for Ganon. Punsho feeling confident enough to engage. Okay, here come the rockets. That's enough to tap it. Ooh, getting it very low, but eventually the Conyard prevails. However, now he doesn't have econ to expand to. Punsho is moving safely behind his flame tower.
Maybe Punsho doesn't have to need to move his heavy tank. He has already vision with his flax. But
there was no chance here for Ganon in this engagement. He's going to take the far right as a... Ganon always going for the far right, you know? If you catch my drift. Kappa Pride. Oh, he's trying to go for a scouting run and maybe Nah, not to trash talk him. He's just an edgy player in his statements. Okay, at least this time he gets an expansion established, but he already has to contest with 4 heavies. What does he have on the field? Now the 5th medium. 5th heavy is spawned though as well.
Yeah, one thing, I have a question for you, 5Ss.
Yeah.
I think it's very dangerous to move the MCV alone because of the hijacker, but is it really risky to send the MCV alone or not?
It is generally very risky unless you know where your opponent's army is. But hijackers are not that big a concern. Because who builds hijackers in the first place? Okay, he's trying to get something with an engineer. Nice.
I'm always worried with this. I don't know if I must worried about hijackers or not, because that blocked me psychologically. That blocked me, and sometimes there's just nothing, and I'm just wasting time. So the question is when you need to pay attention to hijacker or not.
Usually, general rule of thumb is you don't, because no one builds them.
Okay.
I just wanted to highlight this engagement. Sorry to interrupt you, cut you off there. But in this engagement, we had 3 heavies with some infantry against 5 mediums. And the 3 heavies won with no losses taken. So that's how strong heavies are comparatively speaking.
Ouch. The fight in the north.
And he's focus firing. Like I like what Punsho is doing. He's focus firing all his tanks on the enemy tanks. Man, Ganon is not looking good here again. Hey, oops, what's up? Yeah, Ganon is not playing Ukraine this time around. He went allies because I think he wants to prove a point that he can stop a double war factory build. But so far, he's had the same luck as I had. But it's cool that those things start emerging even after this long. Even after Open Array being released this long. And the balance hasn't changed much. Yeah, he's not doing a very good job. That's kind of the point. Radar tech now for and V2 transition. He doesn't need many. He needs like maybe 2-3 V2s to break the camp. That's all he needs. And ooh, Ganon has a helipad himself. Now that's the psychological fear factor of a Tesla Quill. Do you engage? Should you stay or should you go? That sort of thing.
Yes.
That's why Tesla Quills, one of the reasons for why Tesla Quills are so strong. Wow, he didn't undeploy. Ponyard. False foul of a couple pillboxes.
The most powerful from the Tesla, for me, is the range of vision.
Yeah.
Vision and its range of fire. That's, for me, it's not the damage that the Tesla do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the psychological factor plus the vision. That's what makes Teslas tick. Look at the heavies are still going. He's lost 3 now. Here he can't break. Man. Oh, V2s are starting to come in as well. I dig. Wow, the AoE from the V2 is actually significant. Kills the pillboxes off. I think this is a... is this map Soviet favored or Allied favored? Good question. I'd say it's Soviet favored. Especially in the late game. GG. 2-0.
God, I'm so rusty with allies.
Come on, you need to switch
That
it
was
up,
bad.
man.
Yeah, I think I need to.
No, it's honestly very hard to stop Double War Factory as allies.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, then prove it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I need to prove it, you know.
Terminated.
Alright. Alrighty, good luck, have fun, man.
Yo, wait a second, I will leave soon. Okay, now. Yep, see ya.
Okay, is Ganon
I'm
gonna...
happy.
He has to put his money where his
Ganon
mouth
has
is
the
now.
Talk the same thing about Forgotten Plains.
So now Forgotten Plains is imbalanced, I see. I like the map still. Okay, Marigold. That is kind of a... I like the map, but I lost on it a lot against Punsho. I think I played it 2 times. No, I won against him 1 time in the regular season, because in the regular season I beat him 2-0. And one of the maps was Marigold, but then he practiced a shit ton and I had just no time to practice at all. Greedy build from Punsho. Early engineer. Against Ganon's rifle pressure, iffy. So back to your question with the hijacker. Have you ever seen an engineer, a hijacker taking an MCV?
No. So I think I'm worried about the thing that never, no one made.
So it's more a psychological block for you.
Yes. Because I play with my training partner. Sorry for my English. I speak French. But who cares? He don't ask questions to himself. He just go forward, put some ref backward. I ask him the question, the same question. He doesn't care about hijacker and AJ. So I think I'm the only one player who is worried about this.
That is honestly a psychological thing, because
yes.
Hijackers. So what you need to know, even if you want to be safe against hijackers, to just send in 1 light vehicle with your MCV or 1 rifle. That's enough.
Yes. But who cares? It's nothing. Just the MCV alone. It doesn't care.
Most of the time you'll be safe, to be honest. Alright, interesting build. Divergence here. Ganon going early war factory and going for a light tank. Does want to curb stomp the infantry pressure. Oh no. Just about seized the rifle. That could have gone very bad. Well, so RIP. Punsho's engineer is forfeit, as is most of his infantry. Rockets are starting to appear though.
But Punsho gets a 2 all direct out of 3. So I don't like to start first wave from this map, but that's a ZxGanon, so he know what he did.
Well, he just plays greedy. Most of the time he doesn't get punished. Oh, Punsho actually got Ganon's close derrick. I didn't notice. Wow.
Yes, that's what I said to you. 2 all direct versus 1. A little question for the hospital. Is it worth it to go capture it in a regame or not?
Only if you have reusable engineers and you have an engineer sitting around anyway, then yeah, do it. But if you actually need to commit something, if you actually need to commit an engineer, no. Even as Soviets.
Okay. So it's better to commit on the all directs.
Yeah, way better. Because single infantry unit surviving is not a big deal. They don't scale very well. A single infantry unit, that is. A blob is a different thing, but it's rare that a blob gets low. It's rather that, infantry units get picked off 1 by 1 because many weapons are very lethal against them. So they one-shot infantry, like pillboxes, flame towers, and the such. They all one-shot infantry. So a couple surviving to be patched up by the hospital, really not a big deal.
Yes. Okay.
So I would go for the Well Derrick 10 out of 10 times if I had the choice. But if it's a reusable engineer, sure. It also provides line of sight, so that's honestly the better value it has is providing line of sight.
Yes. And for Soviet about middle game, hospital can be worth it with Soviet, I think, but in early game, definitely not.
I'd say even in the mid to late game, no. Especially then, like, lethal weapons become more readily available by tier 2, tier 3. Like, for example, artillery, V2s, and they all one-shot infantry. There's just no surviving and being healed back up.
Yeah. Punsho lost a lot in the battle with the Derrick.
He did, but he killed the Derrick, so it's a long-term investment, if anything. Let's see.
More rockets with this.
This time we've got a way better economy for
this
Ganon.
event.
Sorry?
One of the question I have often in my head when I'm playing is to balance the gains and don't find the word, and the lost. Yes, like this battle. Oh, incoming. Like this battle, with my level of playing, I cannot say to myself if I won or lost or even.
It's honestly, you just do a quick head count in terms of infantry. Like, how many tanks did you lose? How much infantry did you lose? And with the infantry, rifles are expendable. Rockets are very expensive. Rockets cost 300 a pop, so honestly keep track of how many rockets you're losing. That is the best indicator of how an engagement is going.
Okay. So, for example, you destroy the egg, but you lose three bazookas and some riflemen. Is it worth it or not?
Depends on the game situation. You mean you destroy an oil? I didn't hear that. What did you destroy for 3 bazookas?
No, direct in the regame like the last fight.
That is kind of an... yeah, that is a 50-50. It depends on... are you planning on extending the game long enough for the oil discrepancy to matter? Oils produce $100 every, I think... oh, what's the math? I think every 15 seconds or something. So, really, are you planning on the game lasting that long? Or do you think it's gonna end earlier? If you think it's gonna end earlier, if you're super far behind already, it's not worth it at all.
Okay.
But if you think you can extend the game for much longer, Punsho actually winning the engagement with a better concave despite line of sight disadvantage.
Well, much loss for both sides.
Yeah, but again, look at the tank count. Tank count already favoring Punsho again. The economical situation is even. And Punsho has a float as well. His income is now spiking. And he's about to deny an ore patch out there. Ooh, he's also about to spot the MCV with a rifle, and it is very, very undefended right now. So all he needs to do is position himself in between. He's gonna sandwich the army. Oh my lord. Unless the harvesters tank a lot, this is gonna go very much Punsho's way again.
Yes.
I mean, his meat shield is starting to evaporate. Ooh, Tesla Quill versus pillboxes, yeah. Never a good place to be in. So again, MCV forced to get the hell out of dodge.
And Punsho have a lot more map control than ZxGanon.
Exactly. And ZxGanon is forced into defending in the north without even knowing if there's anything coming. He just knows that there's gonna be the most logical attack vector. So all Punsho needs to do is close the sack. He's again in a very dominant position. Despite the assets still being somewhat even. Every engagement that he wins is just going to provide him with more tanks. Tanks! We need more tanks instead! He doesn't need to go for flanks if he just wins all the tank engagements. That one was a bit more 50-50. Because there were not many rockets here out for Punsho.
I think that Punsho has just to made to be a turtle, just turtle, and wait the death echo from ZxGanon. That's the tips from UK's. So I think it's already GG. I don't know your point of view, but for me it's all.
That is a very correct tip as well. Yeah, right now there's a heavy tank to medium tank disparity. And you would think that Ganon can win this, but look at the alpha damage. Punsho hasn't lost a tank yet. Now he can just patch him up. Oh, he's replacing them, look at this. Just doing the old tap out tap in, tap out. 3 wounded heavies go, and 2 healthy heavies take their place. Yeah, that's brutal.
Okay.
And right now, Ganon has nowhere to expand anymore. Where does he go from here?
That's what bouquets teach me. Just take the map, and when you have the map advantage, you keep it.
This Tesla coil is worth its weight in gold now.
Oh.
Look at what's gonna happen to the poor eco line. 1 half down. Oh, power down for a brief moment. Oh, V2 tech, nice. Good hit, force fire. Controls force fire from Punsho. ZxPunsho was about to say. Yeah, Ganon has nowhere to go anymore.
That's...
He's got artillery tech, but I don't think that's a saving grace.
It's too late, too late.
Look at all the heavies that Punsho is saving up in his main base. Ooh, okay, he sees the mediums. Again, 6 mediums versus... We see like a couple wounded tanks here. A Chinook! Was that a misclick? Or is it just using it for cheap line of sight? Yeah, the latter.
Or maybe to crush on the infantry. I saw that a lot in the in 4v4.
It's a cheap spotter. Cheap spotting unit. The Chinook is reminiscent to the Omk Torque build. You guys know Omk Torque. Big fan. Ooh, Allahu Yakbar. Takes out 2. Very worth it. And finds the eco lines again. Like, Ganon is struggling so hard. Struggle is real for him. He's engaging into Wall of Flame. He's still got the roaming pack of mediums, but they can easily be stopped by heavies. Doesn't need much to push Ganon over the edge here. Chinook! The Chinook hype is real.
To sit back this building and wait to the death of Eco for the Ganon.
Ah, almost lining it up perfectly.
Oh, number of heavy tank.
I mean, that's now
Look
2
at this.
Wartracks down for Punsho. That would in theory be impactful. Look at the map. Nowhere to go for Ganon. All he needs to do is park mass rockets on his ore patches.
Or
My goodness. Soviet tank hammer inbound. Now look at what he's doing to those rockets. Ah, decides not to engage. Okay, that's fair. But heavy tanks actually can deal with scattered rockets too. Lost 2 tanks for a harvest are very worth it in his position though. So you always have to ask yourself, am I economically ahead or behind? And Punsho knows he's very, very ahead. So he's gonna be happy trading 2 tanks for one harvester. It's the perfect situation for him. Denies all the spawning units.
the wall map control.
Again, no line of sight here at all. Huh. The only thing that keeps Ganon afloat right now is this 4 stack of mediums. They're all very low. Ooh, the crash! Very nice. He can send in another one. In his position, he's so far ahead. Trading a Yak for a artillery unit is in theory a bad trade, but he can do it. He can afford it easily.
Oh, the mediums wanted to go to the main.
Yeah. And here he knows that the entire army is out of position, so you see the Soviet tank hammer. You see that there is nothing Ganon can do. Like, his mass turrets didn't stop a single heavy. There was 2k in a defensive line that just evaporated.
Yes. That's the reason I don't make defense a lot.
Yeah.
I stopped
Offense is the best defense.
to do defenses.
Thus far, he hasn't lost a single heavy. Lost one here.
I'm not protesting.
One heavy went down in this engagement. Maybe a second. Third. That's fine. Still completely within the realm of okayness. And now there's tier 3 out for Punsho. Yeah, if you lose this expansion and this expansion, it's basically game. That is true. But Ganon, dude, he's the champion. No, I think the finals would have been a completely different series if he had played against Punsho instead of against Orb, because Orb tends to be a bit more passive in the early game and just do this aggressive turtle type of thing where he camps. He just takes early positions and then camps. And Ganon is playing very aggressively, so that favors him. But Punsho going for the face with his mass tanked army. I think he would have had a shot at defeating Ganon. So this could have been going very differently.
Looking at the eco, but I don't understand why Punsho don't take more refineries, just one or two. When I was saying that, he put one in the expansion.
His eco is not actually that good now.
Because
he just was
he's
busy building
mining
tanks.
on five ore patches were empty.
He didn't find the artillery unit there.
And also,
Again, MCV immediately being forced off. What do you do against such ruthless Sovieting? Mammoth tanks starting to appear in the mix. We're gonna see how quickly, look at how quickly that heavy deals with the two mediums. Yeah. Heavy wins against two mediums here because of the focus fire. Oh, artillery unit goes down as well. There's a sizable Hind force, but you can't engage into this with Hinds at all. Not even a little. I see Orb is still salty. I mean, it's this back and forth. I think Orb and Ganon are not having greatest of times with each other. And that's okay. It's a competitive RTS. It's competition for a reason, yeah. Now he's trying to engage with the Hinds, but with the longbows. But, oh, Black Hawks. GG. 3-0. What can I say? Brutal. Yeah, so that strategy is very strong. I mean, Oops is trying to pin it on the mammoths. Oops is trying to pin it on the mammoths, but the mammoth had no impact whatsoever.
The mammoths did nothing, is Ups retarded? It did nothing.
No, it's
were
just
heavy things mostly.
Mammoths are not that OP anymore now that their range got decreased. Alright.
Why did he harvest so quickly on the gem? Ah, the gem feed. That's why he had such a burst in income, I see.
So, one thing I also have to announce, I am fucking sick today. I don't mean in the rapper sense. I mean I'm sick to the bone in the I'm gonna vomit on all over your couch sense. So, the stream might be a bit short, but that's alright. And I've got another special announcement, seeing as I'm going to be working as a ski instructor again in the holidays. I have there is this weird offer from my phone provider right now that over the course of the holidays you can have as much internet data on your roaming data plan as you desire for free. So I'm going to try and bring my laptop with me to my ski resort, and I'm going to try and stream via the phone. I'm not even kidding there.
Okay,
so
really?
This might result in a lot of dropped frames, but I'm gonna give it a shot regardless. So, So the next stream is actually not gonna be on Tuesday because that's Christmas Eve and there's just no way in hell. I also still have a sick toddler, plus a somewhat sick girlfriend, and I'm also sick, which is spread it around ping pong style. So instead, I'm gonna move it, and I'm gonna announce that. I'm gonna move the next stream to the 28th, which is gonna be in one week from now, next Saturday.